Hi everyone. So nice seeing so many sellers here today. So thanks for the birthday clap. I will use one of my birthday wish to wish that all of your sales here on Amazon will increase so significantly, like 200% increase in sales. Yes, so nice to see everyone. Hope you had a great lunch today. It's my pleasure here today to share more with you about branding, Amazon brand building tools that you can adopt for your brand. This is a topic that is highly requested by so many of our sellers because we receive many questions like, how do we cross-sell and upsell our brand? How do we increase our conversion rate with increasing traffic? Or how do we tap onto Amazon customer base to get to know about our customer segment, and then how do we engage them and inculcate their repeat purchase? So if you have the same questions, this segment is really right for you. So for today, I'll be sharing with you some existing and also new launched in terms of the product tools of introductory, intermediate, and advanced tools. So now, before you can access the brand building tools that I'll be sharing today, it's important that you are a brand registered seller on our brand registry. So why is it so important to be a brand registered seller? And also have your trademark enrolled on brand registry because it gives you access to a wide variety of brand building tools as well as brand protection tools like those that I have shown on the screen, such as report a violation or transparency program, which also protect consumers from counterfeit product, as well as other exclusive programs that are tailored to your unique needs as well as the capabilities of the brand. So what are some of the benefits of brand registry? First thing first, it gives you a very accurate brand representation because you have greater control over what content goes on to your product listing page or the kind of keywords that you want to put in your sponsored products. Brand registry also have very powerful search tools because you can search for content using our report a violation tool just by purely using image search or keywords or a list of asins. And this is a very simple and guided workflow on brand registry. Brand registry also has a very proactive brand protection that proactively removes suspected infringing or any inaccurate content. So this helps you to protect your product and your account, and also provide a better brand and seller experience. And lastly, brand registry support is available 24/7. So if anytime, anywhere you require support from them, let's say reporting policy violations, or you would like to add additional trademarks to your brand, you can reach out to our brand registry support. So now, why is it so important to build a brand? So brand is like a distinct identity that you have for your product as well as your brand value, and it's a cyclical process to reach a strong branding that will help you to improve your awareness, recognition, as well as your brand loyalty. So our ultimate goal is always to reach the brand loyalty stage so that we can inculcate that repurchase behavior among our consumers. But before our consumers can reach the repurchase stage, they actually go through a process of discovery. So that is aligned with your brand awareness because then they will discover your product on Amazon.com, and once they click into your product, they will go through a consideration period. I think as a consumer, you will know when you want to purchase a product, you will do a lot of comparison with other competitors based on your product unique selling point or the pricing. And once they recognize the brand value that you provide for your customers, they will then make the purchase. So what our brand building tools actually do for you is to increase the impression as well as the awareness of your product, which also help to optimize your page quality to increase the conversion rate. So this helps with your brand recognition stage. And lastly, we have some customer-based tap into our customer base profile as well as dashboard so that you'll get to know your customer segments to reach the stage of brand loyalty to inculcate that repurchase behavior. Next, these are some of the exclusive tools only for a registered brand owner on brand registry. So it includes like A+ content, brand analytics, stores, as well as sponsored products. sponsored brands and sponsored display ads. So the first introductory tool that I'll be sharing with you will be A+ content. A+ content can help you to increase brand awareness as well as brand recognition because it gives you the ability to customize your product detail page. So you must be thinking, okay, I have the bullet points, I have the main image and supplementary images. Aren't they sufficient? But based on our research, A+ content can drive a very, very high conversion rate for you. So what this does is you can show and tell your product brand story by featuring your brand values, your brand history, as well as what makes your brand so unique. It also encourages repeat purchase as well as to improve your conversion rate because you can educate your customers on the the unique selling point of your product. You can also address some of the purchase barriers by featuring some of the commonly asked questions in your A+ content. And lastly, you can also put some of the highly searched keywords as well as relevant keywords in your A+ content to drive the search engine optimization as well as to drive more traffic to your product detail page. So just last year, Amazon actually launched premium A+ content, which provides the best-in-class detail page experience for all the brand owners to differentiate your detail page from your competitors. So premium A+ content is available to all registered brand owners. So if you already have access to your Seller Central and you're also a registered brand owner, do check out your Seller Central and see if you have access to this tool, and if not, what are some of the eligibility criteria that you have to meet. So now let's see what are some of the main differences between premium A+ content and the basic A+ content. So premium A+ content provides a lot more modules that the basic A+ content does not have. So this includes the ability for you to include a product or brand video in your detail page, as well as the hotspot function. So hotspot function is really very intuitive and beneficial for sellers. So I give you one example. Let's say if you're a apparel seller and you like to emphasize the material of your clothes, for example. You can create a hotspot that customers can hover over your A+ content, and there will be a blurb that appears, and let's say it says 100% cotton. Yeah, so it's a very intuitive feature to have. There are also two more, which is navigation carousel, as well as Q&A module to help you with any commonly asked question about your products. So sellers who use premium A+ content, they observe up to 20% sales uplift as compared to basic A+ content, which is only up to 8% sales uplift. Next, I'm going to show you some case examples and best practices of our sellers who utilize A+ content as well as the strategies that they use. The first one is Petite Simone. They are a Singapore-based seller that sell women's handbags. What they do is they did a A/B testing with their A+ content. This is using a tool called Manage Your Experiment, which I will share with you later. So what you can do with this tool is basically having version A and version B to A/B test what kind of content that you can feature your A+ content that help to drive a higher conversion rate. So let's say for Petite Simone, initially they had the consideration between whether they should feature an image that is more product-centric, which is zoom in into their product details, or having a lifestyle image that show their handbags on their model. So after running this test for some time, they realized that the version B, which includes the lifestyle image, actually drive a higher conversion rate. Next, we have Aerospring Hydroponics. They are also a Singapore-based seller. What they did is they revamped their A+ content. So you know, hydroponic is a very huge product. So initially what they did was they only feature their product image, which by the image on the left, you can't really tell how big exactly the hydroponic is. So he did a revamp to his A+ content by featuring lifestyle images to help customers visualize better how huge the product is, and in terms of the aesthetic-wise, how it looks like when it's placed at home. In terms of the copy, he also changed it to a bullet points format to make it more readable and easily digestible for our customers. And all the photos that he featured on his A+ content has very clear selling points. Next, we have B Bangkok Pens. They are a Thailand seller and they utilize premium A+ content to optimize their listings. So you can see that this is a fantastic example of a very well done premium A+ content, because the top panel actually features his brand value and also his brand history. And you can see he used the brand visual asset, which includes the model wearing the women's pants that complements and shows the functionality of the pants. There's also some of the premium A+ module that he used, such as the navigation bar, which you can create specific aspects of the product that you want to highlight. So for example, B Bangkok Pants, what they did was they included care instruction of their product and also the functionality of the pants. There are also other modules like the product video and also FAQ that he featured in his product, in his A+ content to help customers overcome their purchase barriers. The next introductory tool will be stores. So brand stores allows you to further convey your brand story using a multi-page immersive shopping experience. So what you can do is you can create a brand store with your own branding's look and feel, so that your whole branding as a whole will be more holistic and providing a one-stop for customers to find out more information about your brand and products. You can also build your brand engagement by offering fresh and relevant content. So for example, if you newly launch your product, you can feature your product on the home page or sub-pages of your brand store. This is also a very strategic product tool, because you can maximize basket size by displaying all your complementary products on one page. And lastly, you can drive awareness to the store using some of the paid and organic channels that Amazon offers. Next, we have one example from Naoki Matcha. They are also a Singapore-based seller. You can see how they actually use store to inspire, educate, and help shoppers to discover their brand. So on their brand store, they actually front their brand store with a very clean and sleek visual asset, which is very aligned with their Naoki Matcha branding. And then at the bottom, you can see they highlight their brand story as well as their unique selling point of their product. They also strategically created sub-pages so that they can showcase the full range of their matcha products and also promotions that are currently running. Lastly, one of the best practices that Naoki Matcha did was they provide educational and informative content, such as matcha for beginners or or people who want to try more unique or bold matcha taste to help them make the right purchase decision. Next, I'll be sharing with you 3 intermediate tools for sellers who are looking to scale and level up their branding even further. So the first one will be brand analytics tool. This tool allows you to look at the top search term as well as your performance of your ASIN throughout the entire sales funnel that is emphasizing on the sales search performance. So there are 2 dashboards under brand analytics. The first one is search query performance, which allow you to look at your top search terms associated to your brand. And the next one will be the search catalog performance dashboard, which allow you to look at your ASIN performance with an emphasis of the search performance. So let's see how we can apply this using the search query performance. So on your Seller Central, you can filter based on your brand, let's say if you have multiple brands, as well as the reporting range. So I highly recommend that you filter your reporting range based on quarterly basis, so as well as a year-on-year basis, so that you can cater for any economic or seasonality factors. You can also choose to customize the metrics in terms of looking at the whole sales funnel, such as total count, brand count, or cart ad count as well. And then you will be able to see the full list of your top search keywords that your customers use to find your products and also your brand. So this is very helpful for you because you can include these performing keywords into your sponsored product or sponsored brand campaigns and optimize the performing keywords and to take out keywords that are not doing so well. And of course, during Tier 1 events like the upcoming Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you can increase your bid by 20 to 30%. Let's say if the keywords are doing extremely well for you. This is some high-level recommendations that we have for you. I highly recommend you to take a photo of this because I think this is really helpful for all sellers. So these are recommendations for you. Let's say if your certain ASINs or keywords fall within each of the scenario. Yeah, I'll give you some time to take a photo. Okay, so let's say if you observe a low impression, click rate, cart add rate, or purchase rate, what we recommend you to do is to separate these campaigns or ASIN into a separate campaign with low budget so that you can cater more budget for performing keywords and ASINs. After running 2 to 3 months and then you realize, okay, this is not working out for you, you can actually remove the keywords and ASINs from your campaigns. The next brand analytics tool is market basket analysis. So this provides insights on the products that are most frequently purchased together. There are 2 filters that are very beneficial for all sellers. The first one will be same brand combination. Basically, you can look at what your sellers are purchasing together in a combination in your entire brand catalog. This is very helpful for you because once you find out, let's say if you're a beauty seller, right, and then you have a toner, cleanser, and lip balm, and then you realize your customers are purchasing the lip balm and cleanser together more than the cleanser and the toner. So what you can do with this piece of information, you can create a virtual bundling tool, which is the tool you use to bundle products together and offer a more attractive pricing to encourage and maximize your basket size. Another very good tool to use, which is to filter by cross-brand combination. Cross-brand combination basically means that you can see what other ASINs from other brands that your customers are buying together with your product. So this is very, very valuable because there are 2 applications for this. First one, with this piece of information, you can use it to widen your selection. So let's say if the same example, right, you are a beauty seller and you are selling toner, you realize that your customers are buying sun tanning products together but then from other brands. So what you can do is you can consider to also do your product research and launch sun tanning product as well, just to capture and keep the traffic to your brand itself. And another benefit of having cross-brand combination information is that you can target those ASINs that your customers are purchasing. That means you use sponsored ads to drive traffic from your other brand's detail page to your own brand detail page. So this is an example of a seller that used virtual bundling. So this seller sells cake icing turntable as well as icing tool and spatula. So you can see that in terms of the virtual bundling, this seller mix and match with other products as well to provide a more holistic purchase experience for the customers. And just one thing to note, if you increase or decrease the price of an individual product, you just have to ensure that your virtual bundling is still more attractive than purchasing the products individually. You can also run the ads on virtual bundling so that you can drive more traffic to your virtual bundling detail page as well as the individual products detail page. So we have Aerospring Hydroponics who also utilize virtual bundling very often. So this is a great example of understanding their customers' needs. So when their indoor systems were out of stock, they realized that they just can't leave it as it is, right? So what they did is they create a virtual bundling with their outdoor system with their indoor upgrade kit. So this keeps the sales flowing as well and to increase their customers' experience with the brand. Next, we have a very interesting and new tool, which is called the Customer Loyalty Analytics. I am so excited to share this tool with you because it's only launched very, very recently. So what this tool does is, it gives you insight to your customer segmentation as well as the predictive loyalty of your customers. So let's see what I mean by this. There are two forms of views that you can use for this. First one will be brand view. Brand view provides an overview of the size, performance, as well as the growth rate of your customer segments. So you can see on the screen, there are 4 kinds of customer segments that we provide, which is top-tier customers, promising, at risk, and hibernating customers. And you can see the number as well. That means the number of customers that fall within the customer segment. You can also look at the trend as well as the growth rate. So for example, top-tier customers, which basically means customers that purchase more frequently and purchase the most. If you see there's the downtrend in terms of the top-tier customers, that means you might need to come up with strategies to help target this group of customers to inculcate their repeat purchase behavior. Next, we have segment view. Segment views deep dive into each customer segment. And there's one very smart and interesting matrix here, which is called the predictive customer lifetime value. So what this tool does is that this tool actually predicts which of your customers will purchase next year and how much they are willing to spend next year. So this is a very valuable and smart tool which I highly recommend you to utilize this tool. And what you can see on the right side of the screen, Amazon further provides you with more information about the customers with growing spend the next year, or whether they will maintain their spending next year or they will decline their spending next year. So one of the use cases I can recommend you now, which is, let's say you realize that you have more customers that falls within the decline group as compared to the growing spend group. What you can do this is, that means you have to focus on retargeting strategy to incentivize your top-tier customers to make the repeat purchase with, let's say, promotion discount. On the other hand, if you have more customers that are growing rather than declining, what you can do is instead to widen your selection with higher average selling price products to target their high purchasing power. Next, now we have already identified a few of our customer segments. So how are we going to target them and also to encourage their first or repeat purchase? So we have this new tool which is also launched just recently, which is called Brand Tailored Promotions. Brand Tailored Promotions provides you the ability to customize and personalize your promotion based on a customer's past purchase behavior. This is a very targeted campaign because it improves your return on investment just by targeting the intended group of segment that you want to incentivize the spend. You can also build loyal relationship with existing customers and to improve consumer retention. So this ultimately helps to maximize your sales and also to improve your conversion rate. So let's see how it looks like on the back end. So on Seller Central, when you create your brand tailored promotion, you are given a list of customer segments that you hope or you wish to target. So some of which includes like recent customers or cart abandoners or brand followers. And you have that the number of customers that falls within each product segment, each customer segment. On the front end, what your targeted audience can see is a very bright green discount tag that says save XX% with exclusive promotion. So the tag is only visible to the targeted audience only. So now let's say you have already created a brand tailored promotion. So how are we going to inform your customers that you have this exclusive promotion for them? So brand tailored promotions will be integrated with this tool called the Manage Your Customer Engagement, which is a tool that I will share more later, which basically allows you to feature your brand tailored promotions in your marketing emails to the intended group of the customer segments. And another upcoming feature we have, brand tailored promotions will allow you to include or exclude certain type of ASINs that you want to run the promotions for. Because at the moment, the promotion is available and eligible for your entire brand catalog. Lastly, I have 3 advanced tools for sellers that are looking to further level up their brand to go above and beyond for their customers. The first one, which is the tool that I just mentioned, which is called the Manage Your Customer Engagement. In short, we call it MYCE. This tool enables you to generate customized email content and deliver them to the intended segment of your consumers. So this tool is very helpful and valuable for all brand owners because you can feature your your new launches or your existing products or your ASINs that you are running deals for to increase the awareness and impression of your brand and your products. We have one example from Sand and Sky, who is also a Singapore-based seller. They use MYCE to promote their new product with customized and informative email content. So if you can see on the screen, their brand logo is very prominent at the top. So if you use MYCE to promote your product, it will be the same for you. You can upload your brand logo, which will be placed at the top. And for Sand and Sky, they were promoting their new ASIN feature, and this is directly led to the product detail page. In the middle, you are given the option to upload your own image. I would highly recommend you to upload a more educational or more informative piece of content and product image, just so that the consumers have some takeaway when they open your email content. So for Sand and Sky case, they actually uploaded a cleansing routine using their product to educate their consumers. And last but not the least, at the bottom, you can choose a few more ASINs that you want to feature at the bottom of your email content. Next, we have Amazon Post, which is an image-based browsing experience, which allows you to promote new products as well as existing products of your brand to help followers gain and resonate with your brand. So all of these posts can be linked to your product detail page as well. So it's actually a very intuitive experience. You can also align your content strategy with your off-Amazon strategy or social media to provide a more holistic and connected messaging across the different channels. So one example here from Petit Simon as well. You can see they are promoting their existing handbags, and they actually use the add product cards to lead customers to a product detail page. And for the caption-wise, I don't recommend you to put hashtag. There are more than 5 hashtags, so just to keep your caption more concise and simple. Lastly, we have the Manage Your Experiment tool, which is the tool that I mentioned at the start of this sharing. This tool allows you to create different versions of the content that you would like to test. This is like an A/B testing format. If you have consideration whether this kind of content will suit your target audience better than another kind of format. So sellers that utilize our Manage Your Experiment tool observe up to 25% uplift in terms of the sales uplift that they observed. One example for Handmade Heroes, they are also a Singapore-based seller. They optimize their listing through this MYE tool. So you can see that they did an A/B testing with their product image. So version A will include the product packaging, and product B is just the product by itself. And based on this A/B testing, they realized that version A actually had a better conversion rate as compared to version B. And the second testing that they did was their product title, whether they should include their brand name at the start or the end of the brand title. We have a few new upcoming features for this MYE tool. Firstly, you can test your supplementary images instead of just the main image. You can also test several factors together rather than just one factor by itself. Okay, now we have come to the end of my session. I think you have been hearing my session for 20 minutes. But what's more interesting than hearing from our 8-figure seller on how he utilized brand building tools to level up his branding and maximize his sale. So let's welcome Jason McLellan, the Vice President Marketplace of VitaCup. Is it not working?
Testing. Oh, it's on. Thank you.
Hi, please have a seat.
Thank you.
Hi, we are so happy to have you here, Jason.
Well, I'm excited to be here too.
Yeah, thanks for flying all the way from US to here. I think there are many sellers here who are very keen to find out how you managed to reach this stage where VitaCup hits 8-figure amount. And would you like to introduce yourself to the audience first?
Yes. My name is Jason McLellan. I'm with a company called VitaCup. We produce coffee-infused and tea-infused with vitamins and superfoods. We're what's considered a functional coffee. We've been on Amazon since 2017. I've been with the organization since 2019. We have continually grown year over year, and it's been an exciting and invigorating portion of our business.
Yeah, thanks for your introduction, Jason. For those who attended the event yesterday, you might have heard Jason introducing and sharing some of the brand building tools that he leveraged on for VitaCup to level up their brand and also to maximize their sales. So we do have some questions for you today so that you can share with the audience here. So for the first one, in your experience managing VitaCup, what do you think are some of the essential or must-have tools that you think the sellers should adopt?
So a couple of things that popped off to me, like when you were discussing going over, I think definitely manage my experiments.
Yeah.
You continually want to test and refine. What you're trying to do is how can you reach your best or your consumer best? How can you communicate them? During the search results, you're always looking how do you want to draw them into your product versus your competitors, and manage your experience is a great way. You can test the hero image, you can test the titles, you can test the bullet points for once they get in there, what's communicating, what's resonating. Also A+ content. I think that's something really wasn't discussed. The reason why there's such a big lift on premium A+ content is premium A+ content versus regular A+ content is optimized for the mobile experience. 70% of Amazon USA purchases are done through the mobile device. So if you really want to tap 70% of the market, you're going to have your visuals. And one thing I would layer onto it too is having great secondary images. You get 5 slots for that in one video. Those come on the mobile experience right before the A+. So you also want to storytell with those. You want those to communicate about your product, how it benefits the consumer. And usually the US consumer, they're going to want to know, how's this going to save me time? How is this going to benefit me personally? And what can I get out of it?
Thanks for sharing, Jason. So for those of you who might not know, so VitaCup actually sell infused vitamin in their coffee and tea. So maybe just to get an understanding, because you just mentioned that you manage your experiment. So how do you actually test your A/B testing? What kind of format do you use? Is it A+ content or your product image, or is it bullet points?
We actually test all aspects. So we're very big on communicating with the consumer. So we'll test start with our hero image. We look at a full funnel approach, and we use a variety of tools on how we judge the success. So on our image, we want to make sure that we actually have produced all of our packaging to be very large, and the bullets and the wording to be very, very big, because we want consumers, when they interact with our product, the first thing they're going to see is that image. So we want them to be able to read what the consumer benefit is for them. So say one of our products, which is we call Shroom Fuel, it's a coffee alternative. So we want to communicate to them that this is not coffee, this is a coffee alternative or coffee substitute. And then we list the ingredients: cacao, lion's mane, chaga. And we also want to communicate to them that has vitamin infused. And so the next thing they're going to see is the title. So we want to make sure that the consumers understand what those keywords are. So we'll go through and also research our AdWords. We'll research through search query performance. What are for that ASIN? What are the common keywords that are resonating with consumers that they want to need? So we also know that through that the search volume on the general terms mushroom coffee alternative or coffee substitute are very high when consumers are searching for that. So we make sure those are layered into the first 72 characters. The first 72 characters are really extremely important, especially on search mobile, is because that's all it's going to display. So you could have great keywords that are going to convert consumers, but if you have them beyond the first 72 characters, the consumer's not going to see it until they click into the listing.
Thanks for sharing, Jason. I think it's good to hear how Jason actually used the MYE in terms of the best practices that he used to achieve like a better product detail page experience for his consumer. So I was here listening to your presentation yesterday, and I realized you did use quite a few of our new tools to increase and level up your branding. So can you share more about how VitaCup leverage or manage your customer engagement?
Yeah, it'd be great. So Manage My Customer Experience released about 2 years ago. And initially, all it was for is you could engage with your customers who were brand following you. A little tip, if you want to increase your brand followers, you have to be using Amazon posts. It is the most efficient way to acquire brand followers that we have found over the years. And it allows you to send out two of the segments. There's a total of 4. One is brand followers, the other is repeat customers. You can email once a week. The 2 other ones, you can only email every other week. Yep. So we have found we want to engage them on new product releases. We want to engage them on meaningful content. What we have found is you're not allowed to have any type of call to action. But what you want to do is you want to make it compelling enough on your secondary image that you include, where you were talking about the benefits. We take a little bit of a different, we might list our benefits there, but we also are going to get creative on how we communicate to the customer. Our most successful performing secondary image was we came up with this tagline that we sent to our repeat customer segment of, "It's time to refill your cup." We had a picture of a cup, we had a picture of our product, and that was the highest conversion and highest sales that we'd ever seen on any of our emails. And we still continually strive. We meet internally talking about, as a company, what marketing techniques can we come up with wording that are going to compel the customer to repeat buy or buy the product while adhering to the rules that Amazon lays out before you.
Okay, in terms of the MYCE tool, how do you find the performance so far in terms of the open rate or the conversion rate of the MYCE tool?
It's really interesting. We have seen historically that we'll get a variety of different click-through rates. We can get a 1%, 2%, 5%. And it's really, the most interesting fact is, across the board, the click-through rate does not necessarily equate to what's going to be the best performing. We have seen a click-through rate on some ads that are going to be 5%, but very little in sales. And then we've seen some click-through rates that have very low click-through rate where it'll have extremely high levels of sales. So we'll take those learnings and we'll break apart. Okay, so what product was it? What was our secondary image? What was the alternate products that we were listing below the fold on it?
Right. I do agree that in terms of the conversion open rate of the email tool, it doesn't mean that it will also, the purchase rate of the MYCE tool doesn't mean or doesn't represent the successfulness of the or the results of the MYCE tool, because this is a very upper funnel tool. So ultimately, you can actually attribute the benefits back to the period that you started to use the MYCE tool to see whether it actually helps you to generate more traffic as well as the conversion rate of your product in the end of the whole testing of the MYCE tool.
Yeah. Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
So it's the cleanest way within the Amazon space. It's the cleanest way in the Amazon space where you can actually directly communicate to your customer. The most important thing you're doing with it is you're not making a sale. The most important thing you're doing with it is you're re-engaging your customer, or who is either a repeat or just bought through in the last 360 days about your brand, reminding them. Then you can use other sales advertising techniques to follow them around the internet, and then hopefully bring them back. The more touch points you can do, the more times you can remind the customer about your brand, the better.
Yep, agree. Okay, I think we have one last question for Jason. So we just introduced a new tool called the Brand Tailored Promotions. I think based on your sharing yesterday, VitaCup also use Brand Tailored Promotions. So how do you find these tools so far, and what are some of the best practice that you can advise the sellers here?
That's a great question. So brand tailor promotions has been out for I think it was the last 3 months, and that's the base of it, and then on top of it layers the customer loyalty dashboard in which you were sharing. We have found that these targeted audiences perform extremely well, especially the cart abandonment. Amazon's really taking what is that traditional digital marketing approach that consumers have historically, not consumers, that brands have historically done with their marketing and advertising on their websites, and this is what they're enabling us to do. So for cart abandonment, we offer a 10% discount. It's only displayed to people who have at one point put the product in their cart, never fully checked out, never bought it, left it there. We, in addition, attribute back a lot of it to is we're very big on, over the last 4 years, building out our DSP flows. DSP is on and off-site advertising that's very targeted to audience base. We had Amazon just released a specialized, on the DSP side, targeting for cart abandonment. We had been running for probably 60 days before brand tailor promotions launched, and we saw that both the metrics we get on the DSP side and the attribution and sales metrics we get on the cart abandonment were incredible. I can't go into the exact numbers, but I can tell you over a 2-month period, cart abandonment equated to about a month and a half of what we would normally do in a day. So, and it also introduced and acquired a new customer who normally we would have lost. And we're all about acquiring new customers because we want to engage with our customers and hopefully convert them to purchasing our product every month.
Thanks, Jason. For those who might have not known, DSP stands for Demand Side Platform. If you would like to find out more about Demand Side Platform as well as the strategies, you can stay tuned for the next section, which will be conducted by Sean Young, and he will go through more about the DSP platform. Yeah, and maybe just one last quick question. So, what's your performance of your brand tailored promotion so far, and what other strategies you think that they can use to increase the redemption rate of brand tailored promotions?
What I would say is I would utilize all of them. Put the minimum of 10%. You're looking at acquiring a customer, and then hopefully you acquire the customer, you're going to be able to resell them. The most success we have seen is incorporating with our DSP flows, but Amazon within the next, I think it's 30 to 60 days, is going to be releasing through MYCE the ability to send different segments of your brand tailored promotions audience direct emails through Amazon. So they're going to get an email, it's going to have the discount on it, and my assumption is they're going to see pretty high conversion rates because it's incentivized.
Thanks a lot, Jason. I think that's all that we have for this fireside chat. If you have other questions regarding brand building tools, we have a breakout session at 5:20 p.m. later, and Jason will be there as well. So feel free to catch him or catch me if you have any other questions, and we will see you at 5:20 p.m. So I'll pass my time back to Rin.